This week on Hooligan Nation, no Peter, no problem. Let's go power pop. We review the album that Gene says he wouldn't let his mother listen to because he hates it so much. Stay tuned for the unmasking of Unmasked. It's not great, but hey, you got
nothing to lose.
Wanted the best? Well, they retired. So you got two dudes in a garage.
Talking Kiss.
Welcome back to Hooligan Nation, a Kiss-Centric podcast. I'm Anthony.
And I'm Rocco.
Oh, there he is. He's right there. So let's get to business. What'd you think of last week's episode?
Well, I love that album. You love that album. It was a lot of great songs. I mean, hopefully, if you're a Kiss fan that saw that episode and you didn't really give Dynasty much of a chance, hopefully after our review, you dive back in and enjoy it as much as we do.
Yeah, I just think it's an all-around good album. It's got its disco moments that I don't like, but all around it's a good album, and I like it. And there really isn't much, there really isn't much more to say about it. It's a good Kiss album.
Absolutely.
It's a little different. It's a little different of a sound. It's not anywhere near as different of a sound as this week's record is.
Yeah, I would say I'm honestly not as excited to do this album as I was for the last one.
I mean, I like Unmasked. I'll be upfront. I like Unmasked. I always have. But you got to go into it with an open mind.
Well, after re-listening to it, I do realize that it's probably the least listened album for me from all the albums of the early Kiss.
Yeah, I might have to agree with that. It's what did I say last week? It's almost like a guilty pleasure.
I mean, we'll get
into it.
Right. I mean, we'll get into it. Like, I think for me, I don't really see a lot of bad songs on it, but for me, it's like the most nondescript album. None of the songs stand out to me, but we'll get to it. But none of the songs, there's not really songs I would say are bad songs, but nothing really stands out to me as far as song. On Dynasty, you know, there's Sure Know Something, there's Hard Times, there's songs that stick out to me as songs that I would look forward to listen to. These are like nice grooves, decent songs, but I don't know. When we go through, I have personal interest, personal comments on everything. So I'll give you a little more, elaborate more. But again, my overall take was nothing really stood out.
All right, let's get going with this. You got any news?
I do. There's a lot to it, and I had written a lot of notes because I wasn't sure when we were going to actually be putting this news out. So this event already happened. A lot of you probably already know. If you don't, there's a lot of video that you'll find on YouTube. They had an event. Bruce Kulick and Eric Singer were the main contributors to it. If you go on a website, Creature Fest, Kiss Cancer Goodbye. It's a fundraiser for curing cancer. A lot of artists were on here. They did a lot of cool stuff. They did like Anton Fig was there, and he did some feature stuff from the Unmasked and Dynasty album. They did The Elder was performed in the album's entirety. The entire thing was performed out by a bunch of artists. I don't think the one band I have in there that was on there a lot was the Handsome Devils. They did War Machine. Also from wrestling fame, Chris Jericho was there, did meet and greet, and he also had his band Quarantine, did some songs. They did All Hell's Breaking Loose, Good Girl Gone Bad, Who Wants to Be Lonely and Lick It Up. Bruce and Eric did Larger Than Life. It's really cool. There's a lot of good videos on there, and I had talked to you. I know it was in Sarasota, Florida, and it was December 6th through the 8th. And if it was in New Jersey, I think me and you would have did everything we could to get there. I think it was like $49 for to general admission and stuff. But they also had merchandising people there selling Kiss merch. Like the overall event sounded really cool. So I just want to put that out there. You can check out some good videos. Kiss Cancer Goodbye. And the website, if you want to go into the website, it's Creatures Fest, Kiss Cancer Goodbye. That's what I got for news.
Yeah, so my 2 cents, it sounds to me like it's very much a different kind of Kiss Expo is what they're trying to make it, which I think is a great thing. I think now that the band is at least allegedly retired, somebody should bring the expos back.
Yeah, I'm
And
with it.
it's for a good cause. It should be near and dear to most Kiss fans' hearts because Eric Carr died of cancer. The fact that Bruce Kulick, Eric Singer, and Anton Fig was there was great. Last year it was a one-day event. Ace was there. Ace is touring this year, so I'm kind of thinking that that's probably why he wasn't there. We're taping this episode like 3 weeks ahead because of the holidays coming up. So that's why you're getting this, and you probably already seen it and everything, but it is what it is. It's the magic of television, I guess.
Yeah, it's for a good cause. I mean, I'm a cancer survivor as of this past year, so it's definitely a good cause, and a lot of great artists were there. So a lot of actually members that have or artists that have actually had some interaction with Kiss through different times too. So
And I'm guessing that you don't know this. Maybe more Kiss fans don't know this, but Chris Jericho is a huge Kiss fan.
yeah, I knew that.
Huge. He does a podcast. He's had Paul Stanley on the podcast. He went full fanboy on the podcast with Paul Stanley. And Quarantine is a Kiss tribute band that he started up during COVID times.
Wow,
That's
I
why
didn't know
they
that.
named him Quarantine. And what to me is the really cool part is they do 80s Kiss.
Oh yeah. I saw Look It Up and Who Wants to Be Lonely.
Yep, they do 80s Kiss. And I don't think they've recorded anything. Like, I can't find anything on Spotify, but you can find it on YouTube. And they do live shows. I would love to see Quarantine live. And I like his takes on the 80s songs. Most tribute acts get in makeup and play 70s Kiss. He's pretty much cornered the market on the 80s Kiss, and they do it really well. So it's just an added thing.
That was a good nugget. I like it.
You're welcome. Does that mean I can take the rest of the day off?
No, we're just getting started, cuz.
Oh, all right. What do you got for music we're listening to?
It's pretty interesting. And I think you vaguely remember me being very much into the band Black and Blue back in the day.
Oh.
So
Is that my mom calling me?
so Hold On to 18, The Strong, Chains Around Heaven, Wicked Bitch. Yeah, I'd never put the connection together about Tommy Thayer and Black and Blue, even though I knew Black and Blue had a guy named Tommy Thayer in it. So I thought it was kind of funny as I was listening. I literally randomly was looking for that song, Hold On to 18 again, because that whole album is great. I love that first album they had. And Tommy Thayer does some really good guitar work in it, and the vocalist is real. I like the singing a lot in it. But it was kind of funny because I didn't put two and two together until recently. So I thought that'd be an interesting little music listening that I'm putting out there for you guys.
So the vocalist was vocaling?
He was vocaling.
Good for him. Good for him and his vocaling. Look, let's clear this up, okay? I don't dislike Tommy Thayer. I don't like Tommy Thayer in the makeup. That's first and foremost. Secondly, I don't like the fact that Tommy Thayer seems to steal all of his moves from Ace Frehley. That bothers me. I've said this before. Black and Blue, I thought was a really good band. I did. I agree with you. That first record is a very good record. I don't dislike Tommy Thayer as a person. The makeup is a problem, but the makeup is less of a problem than the whole stage act. The whole
Right.
stage act is a real problem to me. I don't believe that Eric Singer acts like Peter Criss. He may wear his makeup, he may sing his songs. I just saw something the other day, like I'm going to say this over and over again because I get a lot of my information from Three Sides of the Coin podcast. They brought up the whole Eric Singer, Tommy Thayer thing in an old episode. I'm sure it was old. And they brought up the fact that Eric Singer sings Beth differently than Peter did. And I was thinking back at the end of the road tour, and I said to myself, now it was pretty much the same. But back in 2016, and I had checked out. I mean, I was checked out in 2016. Kiss did Beth with the whole band on the stage live. And it's good. And more importantly, at least for me, is it's different. So for you, it's on YouTube. And for you all out there, if you don't know what I'm talking about, YouTube Kiss Beth Live 2016. And if you haven't seen it before, it might be a little interesting. It was to me. I thought it was a really good version of Beth, and they changed it up, which I thought was really good. And if they could have ever figured out how to change up Tommy Thayer walking backwards and doing all of Ace's moves, that would have been great also.
You were able to get through it without hearing the orchestra?
No orchestra.
I'm saying you were able to get through it without, I know that's your favorite.
Yep, no orchestra. It was look,
I'm just playing.
I don't know. I have said this before. I like Beth acoustically better than the original version. Again, broken record. I love the Beth version in Unplugged, but this version was pretty good. It was interesting for the ears and it was interesting for the eyes, both, because all the members were out there. And when Peter sang it, it was just Peter in the crowd.
Well, I like different takes on things. Even when they did that, I forget what the name of the album was, where Garth Brooks did a Kiss song, like all these
Kiss
different.
My Ass.
Yeah, I thought that I like stuff like that. Different takes and different sounds of stuff. From stuff you've heard forever.
Which reminds me of something that we're not going to get into, but we should get into in one of these episodes. The God of Thunder remake from, I think that's Rock Honors. You know what I'm talking about? I showed you that.
I don't think so.
Yeah, with Rob Zombie and Slash.
Oh, yeah. No, that was good.
Oh, my God.
That was really good.
They should have put them guys in the studio and had them record that. Because that is the, I don't want to say it's the best version, but that's a very good version of that song that
They made Kiss proud. They made Kiss proud on that. That's for damn sure.
Absolutely. All right, you got anything else?
For music I'm listening to, nope. That's pretty much all I got, and my news is all caught up. So, I think we're on to let's get some info on the album.
All right, Unmasked was released May 20th, 1980. It was recorded at the record plant in New York City. It is 39 minutes and 46 seconds long. It was released by Casablanca Records, and it was produced again by Vinnie Poncia. Kiss released 3 singles off of this record: Shandy, Talk to Me, and Tomorrow. Unmasked went gold in the United States, so it sold 500,000 copies. And I found some interesting quotes I thought was interesting from Gene Simmons that I'm going to share for this. And I quote, "It's a shitty album. I'd be ashamed to play it for my mother or anybody else. My least favorite Kiss albums are probably the disco era ones, probably Unmasked. I took my eyes off of the ball and started to trust producers."
That's from Gene.
That's from Gene.
Okay.
Gene's not a big fan of Unmasked
Or Vinny Poncia either.
or Vinny Poncia, which I have to admit I'm not a great fan of Vinny Poncia. I'd like to see both of these records remade with a different producer, personally. But
That's fair.
That's kind of always my take, it seems. Unless Eddie Kramer, the Godfather, is producing. So one of the cool things about this record that I'm pretty sure most everybody already knows is Peter Criss has nothing to do with this record. He is only on the cover. We'll see this again with Creatures of the Night, but this is the first time. He has nothing to do with this record at all. Anton Fig plays all the drums. There is a few additional musicians on this record. Anton Fig, Vinny Poncia plays keyboards, percussion, backing vocals, along with producing. Some dude, Tom Harper, plays bass on Shandy. I guess Gene called out sick that day. I don't know. Holly Knight plays keyboards. And Bob Kulick is in here as additional guitar. It is not specific to which song. So I just wanted to throw that in there. The cover art. Now, here's something nice I do have to say. I have heard more than once Paul hates the cover of Unmasked. I like it. I can't tell you why. It's a cartoon. But I like the cover. I think it's very original for Kiss. I can remember being a dumb little kid when I got this record, and I'm sure it wasn't 1980, but I probably got it around 82 or 83. And I really thought that I was going to see Peter Criss unmasked. And not very long after that, I saw Peter Criss unmasked, and I can't remember if it was on the Phil Donahue show or it was another interview, but I can remember looking at the cover thinking that somewhere in there was going to be a picture of the band Unmasked, and I was going to see Ace and Peter unmasked, and then was disappointed when I didn't.
They did it in a theme of comic book form, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The album artwork was done by Victor Stabin. I don't really know much about Victor Stabin. Nothing against Victor, but I don't really care. But I do think he did a good job. I don't care about that. I care about the album artwork. I think he did a good job on the cover. It's one of my favorite covers. It's not my favorite, but it's one of my favorite covers. It's interesting. So that's all I got for album info and album artwork. Hey, Kiss Army, we work hard on this podcast and try to give you the best content possible. If you like what we do, please consider subscribing to our YouTube channel. Also, the podcast is now on all the podcast platforms. So please like and follow us there and give us some 5-star reviews. It really helps us out.
And while you're there, let us know if there's any Kiss subjects that you would like us to cover in future episodes. We thank you for being part of the Hooligan community.
The songs.
All right. So we start with the first one. Is That You? And what I have for Is That You? Echo sounding vocals from Paul, steady groove, teeny bopper. I kind of like it.
I read an old review of this album that calls it power pop.
I kind of that actually makes sense. Actually, power pop.
And I have to agree. I'll say this for the whole record. It seems a little flat to me, but I think that's because of the disco production. But if this is power pop, I might like power pop. So I think it's good. I like Is That You? It's a good Paul Stanley song. I mean, it's the era, and they were chasing the popular things at the time. So there's not going to be a lot of knock, I don't think, from me for this record, just because they did Dynasty. You have to go back in history and understand that Neil Bogart was pushing for a disco type record. They go in, they make Dynasty. I Was Made for Loving You becomes a very popular song. They went into the studio with the same producer, and they weren't trying to reinvent the wheel. They just pushed a little farther for this record. With that being said, I think most of the songs work. Not all of them, but most of the songs work, and Is That You is definitely one of them.
Well, like I said, I kind of like it. Like I I'm never going to shy away from the fact that I have a very diverse music interest. So I like disco. I like, I don't my core music is Kiss and the heavier stuff and metal. I was definitely a metalhead in high school, but I like disco. I mean I like a lot of different types of music and I can appreciate them. But again, like this, we'll get to each one of the songs like the next one, Shandy. But to me, a lot of these songs don't stand out. They just kind of like are just, they're just decent grooves, but nothing that like on the other Kiss albums, for me, that's the one thing I came out of this. On the other albums, you have songs that like stand out more than one. And then they're okay. It's noteworthy, even though I'm not really sure his background. But Is That You wasn't written by Paul. It was written by Gerard McMahon. Just want to make sure I don't. Yeah, I just want to make sure I put that out because I didn't say that before I went on to the next one. So, but Shandy is.
Shandy. Oh, sorry.
That's okay. It's written by Paul and Vinny Poncia, and Paul's on vocals. Shandy, it's a super disco, sounds like a soundtrack song for a cheesy movie. It's a song for me.
An all night song? Or
No,
just
the other direction. Yeah, there's
I don't know. That's kind of fun. It's another guilty pleasure song. I like Shandy. I think I like Shandy because Paul sings it, and it fits him very well.
It's a unique name. I've never heard the name Shandy. I would like to know what Shandy looks like.
And it's also I have no idea. I've never gotten this. You know where Shandy is very popular?
No.
Australia.
Ooh.
They put Shandy, I believe up until the end. Whenever they go to Australia, they put Shandy in the set list. What do you got next?
Talk to Me. Ace wrote it. And
he read it and then he wrote it, or he wrote it and then he read it.
I definitely got knocked off my game a little bit. Ace did the writing and he did the vocaling for this one.
I love it when Ace is vocaling, boy.
I got let's see. So Talk to Me. I like Ace's voice in it. It's kind of a goofy song, but a nice groove.
Well, Ace has got 2 songs on this record. This is definitely the better song to me. I think this might be too much disco for Ace personally, but I still like the song.
Yeah, I mean, it's got a, again, like I threw shade from the start, but they're not bad songs. It's just not where I was feeling the disco. Where I was feeling the disco in Dynasty. I was not feeling it in this one.
You're drowned by it.
Yeah.
Well, it's not. I guess it's not technically disco. I guess what the reviewer said is true. You're drowned by power pop, whether you want to call it disco or power pop or whatever you want to call it. It's there seems to be a lot of it. There's no crunch in any of this. It's way too light, it's way too refined. The drums are very refined to me. The guitar is very twangy. There's no crunch to it.
If me and you were going for a cruise to say Atlantic City or something, like do some gambling, and we were looking for, travel music, I would listen to every song. Probably, I wouldn't be in a rush to skip something, but it would not even pay. I would probably not even pay attention to them. You know what I mean?
It's funny because to me, the songs that the songs that seem the most out of place to me are the 2 Ace songs. Let's just say that Paul was more suited for this than Gene and Ace was, I think.
Oh no, his voice is made for that.
Yeah, Paul's songs
Yeah.
sounded so much better on this record than Ace and Gene's. Now, with that being said, like I like Talk to Me. I'd like a little more crunchier guitar. I'd like a little more booming drums. And Talk to Me would be a very good song.
The hooks on these songs, they're all different, but there's definitely similarities to the hooks on every one of these songs. The timing of them. What made me think of that, I was just thinking of the next song, and it's just the phrasing is like very similar with almost every one of these songs, because I thought about Talk to Me when I started thinking about Naked City, the next song, which has a lot of people involved in it. Gene does the writing with Vinny Poncia, Pepe Castro, and Bob Kulick are all involved in making that song, and Gene does the vocals. And
I like Naked City.
I like the chorus. The chorus is really in a naked city. The chorus is cool.
Yeah, I like Naked City. Doesn't overpower me with power pop or disco.
I put
like
the
Gene's
arrangement could be
vocals on it.
Yeah, I put the other thing I put on here. The arrangement could have been smoother to make it an even better song. But the chorus is awesome. I love the chorus.
Yeah, you can't stop singing it. Like I am right now.
Yeah, me too. His voice is great in this. You're right about that too.
Mm-hmm. It's like the cross between the Demon and Gene, the fifth Beatle, guesting on a Donna Summer record.
Yeah, I could see that. I like Donna Summer.
Right. I like Donna Summer too. I don't know if I want Kiss to sound like Donna Summer, but for some reason, mixing the Demon with the Beatles in a Donna Summer setting seems to me that it works.
Well, I don't think I'd want to hear Donna Summer sing Black Diamond either.
No. Although if she was still alive, that would be interesting.
Yeah, this is true. Right, even if she's dead, that'd be even more interesting.
It would be even more interesting. You're right.
So the fifth song I got on here is What Makes the World Go Round. Paul and Vinny Poncia tag teamed the writing on that, and then Paul did the vocals. What I got is I definitely don't think I listen to this very often. I don't remember it at all. And remember I was telling about the Skippy thing? This may be, it's catchy, but it may be possibly a skip. But I'd have to consciously think about skipping it, but it may be a skip.
Yeah, it's not. It it's it's nondescript to me. It's probably
Good label for that one.
one of my. It's in the bottom three, in my opinion, for this album.
All right. And then we got the number 6 song, Tomorrow, Paul and Vinny Poncia. Paul does the vocals. Paul has a connection with Tomorrow. He seems like he does Tomorrow. That uses the word tomorrow an awful lot in songs. But I like the chorus. The theme on this album, a lot of similar songs. Not much stands out on its own. Again, I wrote that in here, but I said it before. Again, it's not something that stands on its own, but I do like the chorus on Tomorrow. Yeah, that's all I got for Tomorrow.
I must be schizophrenic, I guess. I'm not really sure. I like it. And one of the reasons why I like it is, again, I feel like the song was influenced by Paul's solo record. You could slide that song right into Paul's solo record and it would fit right in.
Well said.
And
I
agree. I liked Paul's solo record, so I'm okay with the song.
Yeah,
I
liked it.
okay with it. It's not going on my Kiss greatest hits record. It's not in my top. It's probably not in my top 50 favorite Kiss songs, but it has its place. I like the vocals. His songs, to me, organically sound better. See that? You're influencing me. That now all of a sudden I'm using that word.
Do it. Just do it.
Thank you.
Sorry, guys. I still got that ringing in my head from that episode.
Oh no, don't apologize to them. That's trailer material right there.
Yeah, they'll think we're filming Paul's episode again. So the next one is Two Sides of the Coin. Ace does the writing, Ace does the vocals. There's very few songs that I don't like that Ace does. This is probably on towards the bottom of the list for Ace for me. I don't dislike the song, but it's got a cool chorus, but it's a very cheesy tune. Nondescript, I would say again.
All right, so the first thing is I got it wrong. Ace has 3 songs on this record, not 2.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
I like the song. It's like a guilty pleasure of the song. I understand what you're saying. I agree with you completely. I think the song fits his voice. Again, I don't like the guitars. They're too twangy to me. I want a little crunch. But I like the song.
That makes me think of another thing about this album as a whole, and even Dynasty. They weren't looking to show any guitar hero for a rock band in these albums. That's another thing that makes you stand out. They tamed down the solos. There's some nice, tasteful melodic solos, but they don't feature them. They're not the feature. She is so European.
I hate it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. It's a very dated song completely. I wrote It's Okay, trying to throw it a bone. The Gene and Vinny Poncia wrote it. Gene does the vocals. Yeah, I wrote that It's Okay, but if I'm being honest, I really don't like the song. Again, it's got a little bit of a groove and some catchiness to it. So it's not something that I would probably skip unless I focused on skipping it. I'd probably just let it roll until the next one. But I'd rather go into the next one.
I think Vinny Poncia was probably a bad
influence.
A bad influence on Gene. Again.
Yeah.
I like the Demon Gene. I even like the Fifth Beatle Gene. This is too far. It's just too far to
Well,
some other place.
well, remember you said he didn't have supervision on the solo album? Gene is definitely an idea man. And I think that this is probably a combination of him coming up with an idea and he's like, Gene, I love it. Do it. I
Mhm.
love it. I love it. You got to go with it. And he should have not listened.
Somebody's got to get a hold. I've never seen a interview with Vinny Poncia. Somebody's got to get a hold of Vinny Poncia, and I know that his background is in different music than Kiss had put out.
He's 82 years old.
Yeah, so if somebody doesn't get a hold of Vinny Poncia soon, it'll never happen. I've never seen an interview with him. I would love for somebody. It doesn't have to be us, but I would love to see somebody get an interview with him just to get his take on it. The House of Cards was building and building. We've now gotten to the point.
We're at that point now.
We're at that point, and it's pretty funny. Like, not to go too far ahead, but it's pretty funny that we find Gene's comment over the record, and then you look back and the next record is The Elder, and they dumped Vinny Poncia and they went with Tried and True with Bob Ezrin, and it got worse. And it got a lot worse.
And like I was telling you a couple weeks ago, like The Elder is going to be an interesting experience for me because I know some of the songs that came out, but I don't remember listening to the album. I remember hearing bad stuff about it when I was a kid, that it was a crap. It wasn't worth even listening to. And I think I even bought the vinyl, but I don't think I ever listened to it. And I know some of the songs like The Oath. I told you I heard The Oath. We'll get to it, but
we'll get to it, because if there's any Kiss record that needs to have its own episode, it's The Elder.
Yeah.
This music just didn't fit Ace and Gene. It just didn't. I mean, two sides of the coin is not a terrible record. It's not a terrible song. Talk to Me isn't a terrible song. It's just not. I think if you interviewed Ace and you asked him about it, he would say that he wished he could re-record it.
I'll tell you I tell you one thing that I think you'll say is a pretty decent take. Dynasty and this album do not belong in the same room.
No, Dynasty is a much better album. Like I said, they just went too far.
Yeah.
And look, the funny part of them going too far is they go even farther next record. You talk about going out in the weeds. Oh my God.
Well, they were trying to write The Wall or Sgt. Pepper's Yellow Submarine. They were trying to be a conceptual album, and we'll get to all of that with The Elder. The next song I have on here is Easy as It Seems. You got Paul and Vinny Poncia again. Paul does the vocals. And what I put on here, I like it. Chorus is good. A lot of heavy keyboards in it. But I actually put on here flat out that I do like it. So there's like two songs I think that I actually can say I like. So I put on there that I like it, but it's not something that I'm going crazy for, but I put on there that I like it.
Again, Paul seems to be the most comfortable in this. I like the song. It's hooky, it's catchy. I listen to the song. I don't skip it. It's unfortunate. It's not disco. It's not rock. I don't know what it is. And I think that's the hardest part of it, is your brain doesn't know what the hell you're listening to. I mean, look, we've gone over this. We're both on record saying we like all different kinds of music. Look, the last episode, yacht rock. Yes, I like a couple yacht rock songs. I like a couple Billy Joel songs. I like a couple Spice Girls songs, Madonna. God, I love Tiffany. Right? I mean, you know, Biggie, House of Pain, Tupac. You, I could just go on and on with different kinds of music, but I know what I'm listening to. When I put a rap album on, I know I'm getting rap. That's what I'm listening to. When I put the Spice Girls on, I know I'm getting pop. When I put a Kiss song on and it's Unmasked, I'm just not sure where I am. I can still like it, but I sure as hell can't picture myself at a Kiss concert with, you know,
That's
easy as it
actually
seems.
that's interesting. You put that kind of perspective, because that's something I never even think of with some of these songs.
And I think the brain does that. I do. I mean, like, I don't want to get crazy into psychology or anything, but when you walk out into the snow, you know it's cold.
You know what this album is perfect for? It's going to make you laugh, and it won't have any perspective for anybody listening, probably. But when we were kids, we went to a lot of birthday parties at Roller World. This is with the disco ball in the center and the lights. This is an album that will work out great at Roller World with roller skating.
And look, and that's funny, but I think that's what they were going for.
Well, they hit a home run then.
I think that's what they were going for. It was the disco era. I mean, look, it was 1980. They were chasing popular. They were, by all accounts, on top of the world still. It was crashing down behind the scenes, but it hadn't crashed publicly yet. They were chasing roller skating rinks. They were chasing disco single hits, power pop, that kind of stuff. And a record like Unmasked has to be listened to, like I said, Gene's solo album. If
Right.
you don't look at the stamp on the front cover that says Kiss, your take might be a little different. As far as Kiss albums goes, this is probably one of my least favorites.
Same here. Same here.
Because it's the farthest away from the Kiss sound. That's not saying that there aren't certain good songs on there. I can say there aren't really any good Kiss songs on here, but there's good songs.
So the last one, it was written by Ace and Vinny Ponce again, with Ace on vocals. A little bit schizophrenic on my take on this one. I really don't like the chorus. There's some really cool riffs, good guitars, and it's easily my favorite on the album. Yeah.
Are we talking about Torpedo Girl?
I don't like the chorus. I just really don't like the chorus.
Look, I love Ace. I hate this song.
There's some cool riffs on it.
The song. I hate the song. The song is so stupid to me. It
is stupid.
It's just too far out there. For lack of a better term, it's too far out there into outer space for me.
Yeah, I put that take when I listened to this the other day, and I put easily my my favorite on the album. But I don't know. I think honestly, if I'm looking at this again, I really do like it, Naked City. So I think I'm going to change that. I think Naked City is my favorite on the album. But again, this is not something that's easily defined. It's not an album where you can easily say, yeah, that's a great song. It's a great, because it was a weird kind of album for me.
Torpedo Girl and She's So European are my two least favorite songs on this record. And you know, it's funny because I like interesting beginnings. So let me explain that. I like the beginning of Detroit Rock City on Destroyer.
Oh yeah, with the talking and stuff.
I like the beginning of Radioactive. I like God of Thunder with the kids giggling in the background for whatever reason.
I like it too.
When you put Torpedo Girl on and it starts with this, right, and it starts with that summer, I'm so hopeful. And then it starts, the music starts, and hope is sucked out of my body, out of every orifice.
I just had to hear it again because the only thing I think of the song is the little light, torpedo girl. I don't like that.
I don't like that guitar twang sound. I don't like the drums on it. I love Ace. I don't like anything about that song. That would probably be my biggest question to ask Ace. Hey, what do you think of Torpedo Girl?
I may have gotten swayed originally when I listened to it because of the riff is kind of cool. But again, if I never listen to Torpedo Girl again the rest of my life, I will be fine. I'll be okay.
I'm sure there's Kiss fans and Ace fans out there that love Torpedo Girl. And if you're one of them, drop it in the comments below because that blows my mind every time. I hate that song. Next.
You're All That I Want. I like the rhythm guitar in it. Other than that, it's kind of like it sounds like a Xanadu song from like something that Olivia Newton-John would be involved in.
Wow. Wow.
I mean, I like Olivia Newton-John a lot. She gets physical.
Kiss Army, you heard it here first. Gene Simmons does Olivia Newton-John. Wow. I don't even know where to
What's
go
that?
with
What's that used to say? Pow.
Man, that's like a sledgehammer to the forehead, boy. It reminds me a lot of Xanadu by Olivia Newton-John. I'm pretty sure in Gene Simmons' 50+ year career, I'm pretty sure that you are the first person that ever compared him to Olivia Newton-John.
Hey, listen, man. He is the guy who wished upon a star and it was at Disney World.
Victor tried to break the internet, and if he didn't succeed, I'm pretty sure that statement may succeed in breaking the internet. All right, so let's check out the stage show. This is going to be a really long, drawn-out segment. The stage show for Unmasked is the same as the stage show from Dynasty. Yeah, stage show looks the same to me from Dynasty to Unmasked. So just in case anybody didn't listen to the Dynasty episode, go back and listen to the Dynasty episode. No. I love, I don't know why, but I love the stage show, the Dynasty Unmasked stage show, the contrast to the white and black, the two ramps, there's platforms on the top of the amps. It looks like the drum set is almost enclosed. Yeah, that's all I got. So let's just go to set list.
Okay. So for set list, started out with Detroit Rock City, then Cold Gin, then Strutter, then Calling Dr. Love, then Firehouse, then Talk to Me, then Is That You, then 2000 Man, then there was a guitar solo, then I Was Made for Loving You, New York Groove, Love Gun, then a bass solo, and Gene's Theatrics, God of Thunder, then a drum solo, and then the encore started with King of the Nighttime World, Black Diamond, and they wrapped the whole thing up with Rock and Roll All Night.
It's a pretty good set list.
It is. Like I said, I think I talked to you about it before when we were doing some prep. The two surprises on there for me was Talk to Me and Is That You.
I think Talk to Me is more of a surprise to me than Is That You. But they're neither one of them, considering that's the new record.
It's probably the only time they ever had them in the set list after, that year.
I'm guessing you're right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But it's a pretty good set list. I mean, they're all good set lists, pretty much. Being a Kiss fan, got to be tough. Got to be tough to be unhappy with a set list or incredibly happy with a set list.
I was gonna give it devil advocate on the other side.
You got so many songs like, dude, I want to go see Gene Simmons live because I want to hear Radioactive.
Me too.
I mean, that really, that's the reason why I want to hear Radioactive.
I want to hear Charisma.
So because you just knew in our age bracket, you were never getting any solo albums other than New York Groove.
If we make that show, we may actually get them to do When You Wish Upon a Star live.
Great. Great. Can't wait. The Demon singing me When You Wish Upon a Star.
I can bust chops. I love the guy, so I can bust his chops.
Yeah, man. I love him too. just makes me laugh. To wrap up Unmasked, it's interesting.
Yes.
Different.
Yep.
The power pop statement is gaining steam with me more and more. I don't think that Vinnie Poncia was the right decision. Now looking at it, might have been a time to call the Godfather back. Might have been a time.
Eddie!
To call Eddie Kramer back. Especially after
every
Dynasty.
time I'm out, they pull me back in.
After Dynasty, if they would have brought Eddie Kramer back in, he might have righted the ship and the Elder might have been different.
Well, if Eddie Kramer, it definitely would have been different.
You know.
You know what? I got
absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, my biggest thing again is what bothers me is how much I praise Dynasty. I don't like that these two albums try to get clumped together with that, because Dynasty to me is day and night from this album.
Yeah, I can't go with day and night. They're different, but they're going down the same road.
Stylistically,
Unmasked is just farther. Yeah.
Stylistically, yes. Stylistically, but quality of good songs, to me, it's day and night. Nothing really stands out too much for me on this album. There's a lot of standout songs for me in Dynasty.
Yeah, I think it's a little more even.
Just in my opinion.
I think for me, it's a little more even, maybe. When push comes to shove, I don't think Dynasty or Unmasked is making either of our top 10s for Kiss albums. So it's I don't think either one of them are making. I can tell you right now, I promise you, Unmasked is not making any top 10 lists.
Oh no, Unmasked definitely not. But Dynasty, yeah, Dynasty's up there for me.
Yeah, I don't see Dynasty making my top 10 either. But the Elder's not making it.
It's going to be interesting once we're done with the whole entire thing. It's going to be, most all the albums. It's going to be interesting to see how we rate them because we're definitely going to be doing our top 10.
For sure. I want to do it now. Yeah, you got anything else?
No, like I said, that album, there's some songs that probably could have been tweaked a little bit differently, maybe reworked a little bit. Unmasked is another one that what's that guy's Nader, the Frankenstein dude that does the reworking. He did Hotter Than Hell. This is definitely an album I would be curious to see him tinker with and see if it would be a little bit different. The songs are not horrible. They're most of the songs are not songs I'm going to skip, but it's a forgettable album. It's not like all of a sudden I'm looking to listen to something from Kiss. It's probably like I said, it's the least listened to album that I've listened to of Kiss from the first era of Kiss.
Do you put The Elder in the first era of Kiss? I do.
Yeah, but I haven't listened to The Elder yet. We haven't done that yet.
Right, which means that you've listened to The Elder less than you've listened to Unmasked.
Okay, I stand corrected. Yeah, but you did list a couple songs that I didn't realize was from The Elder, and I was like, "Oh yeah, World Without Heroes, I like that song." The Oath, I like that song. So far, what I think about The Elder is got me curious. That's why I haven't listened to any of it yet. So I'm looking forward to a nice fresh take when we go into The Elder.
Oh yeah, just start with just the boy. That'll level the playing field.
That one you have me nervous that I'm going to dislike it more than I like When You Wish Upon a Star or Rock and Roll Party.
Oh, you should be nervous, and you like Just a Boy. Please put it in the comments below. All right, with all that being said, I think we've done as much as we can do with our unmasking of Unmasked. So before we go today, check out the video. Doing that, check out the video that I'm going to put up here. Not sure what video it's going to be, but I'm sure you're going to like it and it's going to be good. So check that out. And with all that being said, don't ever forget, kids, if it's too loud, you are too old. Peace out.